Hey guys and gals, how you doing? This is a nine-person sit and go. Top three get paid. I've already won a couple orbits here. I've had to start and stop, so I just went ahead and started over. I haven't played any hands, so um, in these sit and goes, I just stay out of the way in the beginning and try to play more aggressive toward the end. My objective is just trying to make third place and moving up. You know, it is a little boring in the beginning, but certainly with these aggressive players that have already shown that they want to gamble, it just makes it that much easier just to stay out of the way. Um, this guy over here, Best Bull, he was over 2,000 in chips and just tried to make a big bluff. Well, really wasn't even a bluff. He just kept raising the guy with nothing, ace high, and the guy called him down with middle pair and ended up taking a big pot. But he's played pretty aggressive, so I can't fault this guy up on top for calling him. Um, just from watching how he's been playing, he knows that he's been betting, bottom pair and stuff like that, or just flat out bluffing. So I have got some comments on some of my old videos that I had up, that I play a little tight and stuff like that. But you really have to understand in these sit and goes, if you gamble in the beginning, your percentage, your winning percentage over the long run, over the duration of say 10 games or even 100 games, whatever, is not going to be as high, in my opinion, because you're just taking too many chances. Sit and goes, the correct strategy, in my opinion, is to stay out of the way. Try to play more aggressive toward the end. Once people are more toward the bubble and they're not as willing to gamble because they're trying to squeak into that money, that's when you want to. That's when you want to play more aggressive and start putting pressure on people. In these beginning, I just try to wait for big hands and try to stay out of the way. If the only times I usually will divert from that strategy is a if players know my playing style, um, and B if I run into big hands, or C, well, not necessarily if I just run into big hands, but if the table's playing completely tight and everybody's playing the strategy that I'm trying to play, then I will try to change my strategy up, because it's hard to play when everybody's playing exactly like you. That that's not a winning situation. You generally want to play opposite of the table. If the table's playing very loose, then playing tight just makes sense. So this guy's got 520 over here. He is the small stack now. Um, you gotta think of his state of mind. That 3 hands ago he was chip leader. So he might be a little mad now. I don't know, but he did it to himself. So, but the whole point is he may shove now or play reckless. He hasn't. He looks like he's tightened right up. But anything that happens at the table, you should really pay attention to it and try to analyze it a little bit. Someone gets a big chip lead. Um, think about think about how it's changed their play. When players double up or triple up, they may become more loose, where you might be able to call them down with mediocre hands, where when they had a smaller stack, you wouldn't have even considered it. So, I'm guessing that the best bull over here, he's looking for a hand to shove. Even though he does still have enough chips based on the blinds being 25-50, I'm guessing he's going to look for a hand that he can just get all his chips in, maybe try a squeeze play. And me being one of the tight players at the table so far that haven't gotten involved in any hands, um, this next this next one would be a perfect opportunity for him to shove, because the likelihood of me calling him in his eyes are going to be slim. So if I'm him, I don't like this limp under the gun, but if I'm him, I'm looking at shoving here, and he didn't do it, so just fine. We get to see the flop. A flop like that, if he hits, he's really just got to get all his chips in there. And, oops, sorry. One thing I will make, he limped under the gun and didn't have a big ham. That just tells me that he wasn't being sneaky, and I'll remember that information. If he limps under the gun in the future, I can. Well, I'd like to get a couple reads on him, but some players standard, if they've got aces, kings, whatever, they will limp under the gun. I'm gonna let this go only because it's just myself and him. Obviously, I like the hand, but there's no money in the pot. He has a big chip stack. I don't want to really. I could. My only other play there would be to limp in at, at this point of the tournament and then try to outflop him, and just even if I don't, just put in a bet. But it just wasn't worth it to me. Queen two. Got a guy sitting out. I could try to raise this if I don't believe these guys are going to, but they didn't, obviously. I could be a prick right now and just sit here and wait and give this guy time, but I won't. In other words, just sit on it and wait for him to, you know, sign back in. Because he's raising a guy that was sitting out. No, this guy's got 720. He still has plenty of chips. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have to play reckless. And I talk about that in some of my other videos. Not giving up. If you've seen some of my other videos, you've seen where I was like, it looked like I had no chance in the world of coming back, and I had some I even come back and won first place. But being patient and not giving up is very important in poker. You know, this guy's got 420 and insta call with ace 10. I honestly, God, I don't understand that. Heart just took away more outs. He shoves with top pair, and this guy insta called him with two overcards to the board. Uh, Completely disagree with that because now he gave away a third of his stack. It's likely this guy, he could have been bluffing, but it's just too likely that he hit something on it. Well, he already raised under the gun. I mean, you got to give him credit for something. But that's what we want to see. I want to see players at the table playing aggressive and knocking each other out. Okay, and I was doing something else here, but so let me look at that real quick. Hit bottom pair. Fold there. I'm just watching this hand, the replayer. That's a oh, he hit two pair. Let me oh, okay. All right. So he bets 300 into a 200 pot with bottom pair on the flop. This guy over here did that. The one that just got knocked out. He bet 300 into a 200 pot with bottom pair, and this guy up here called him also with bottom pair, but also had a flush draw. Um, so next card comes, gives this guy over here two pair, twos and threes with the flush. Didn't hit yet. And he shoves all in, which I don't disagree with that. I'm still going to stay away for a minute. I was going to raise there, but look at the stack. This guy's a big stack, and we already know he'll call.